Once upon a time in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a curious young boy named Finn. Now, Finn wasn't your ordinary boy. You see, he had this insatiable thirst for knowledge, especially when it came to the wonders of our natural world. One day, while exploring his attic, he stumbled upon an ancient book filled with tales of mythical creatures and fantastical beasts. As he turned the yellowed pages, his eyes fell upon a peculiar illustration of a dragon breathing fire, and beneath it were the words, "Fire is the child of friction." Intrigued, Finn decided to test this theory. He gathered some dry twigs and leaves and began rubbing them together vigorously. Sure enough, they burst into flames. This sparked a new question in his mind. If friction could create fire, could it also create other things? Driven by his curiosity, Finn decided to visit the village elder, a wise woman known for her vast knowledge. He sat at her feet and poured out his thoughts. The old woman listened patiently, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. "My boy," she finally spoke, her voice like the rustling of autumn leaves. "The answer to your question lies in the unseen world, a world where everything is made of tiny particles called atoms." At first, these words were like a foreign language to Finn. Atoms, what were those? The old woman, sensing his confusion, smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story." And with that, she embarked on a journey through the unseen world. She explained that just like fire, many things in our world are invisible, yet their effects are very real. Take, for example, the air we breathe. We can't see it, yet we feel its presence when the wind blows or when we disturb the surface of the water. Similarly, sound waves travel through air, but we cannot see them. We only become aware of them when they reach our ears as beautiful melodies or annoying noises. But how do we know these things are real if we can't see them? Finn asked, his brow furrowed in thought. The old woman's eyes twinkled. "Ah, that's a brilliant question. Let me show you something." She led him outside to a large open field where countless blades of grass swayed gently in the breeze. "Look closely at the grass, Finn," she said softly. At first, Finn saw only a sea of green, but as he focused his gaze on a particular blade, he noticed something extraordinary. The tip of the leaf was trembling slightly, although there was no visible movement in the surrounding air. Intrigued, Finn leaned closer, and the old woman gently placed a magnifying glass in his hands. As he looked through it, his eyes widened in amazement. What he saw was a tiny pollen grain dancing and vibrating erratically within the leaf. And then it hit him. Just like the pollen grain, countless other things in our world were moving, even though it appeared still. "We might not be able to see the wind or sound waves directly," the old woman said, her voice echoing his thoughts. "But we can observe their effects on things we can see, like the trembling blade of grass or this dancing pollen grain." As they continued their exploration, the old woman pointed out more examples. "Have you ever watched a waterfall and marveled at its sheer force? Or felt the gentle caress of a summer breeze on your skin? Even though we can't see the water or the countless air molecules in motion, we experience their presence through our senses. These are all signs of the unseen world in action," she explained. Suddenly, Finn remembered the illustration of the dragon breathing fire from the ancient book. Could it be that the fire the dragon breathed wasn't just a random occurrence? Was it a sign of something much more complex happening at the atomic level? Could there be some unseen force at play, creating the flames that danced so wildly? Determined to find answers, Finn decided to conduct his own experiment. He collected some ordinary materials, a glass jar, some water, and a metal spoon. With the old woman's guidance, he heated the spoon until it became red hot. Then he placed it inside the jar and quickly put the lid on, trapping the steam inside. Next, he placed a few drops of water on top of the lid, creating a small pool. As the steam condensed on the cool surface, it formed tiny droplets, and to Finn's amazement, they began to dance around as if pulled by an invisible force. The old woman leaned in and whispered, "What you're witnessing is the kinetic energy of the steam molecules colliding with the water droplets. Each collision creates an effect we can see, proving that even the smallest particles are in constant motion." As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the field, Finn looked up at the sky with newfound wonder. He realized that everything he had seen and experienced, the trembling grass, the dancing pollen, the jiggling water droplets, were not merely tricks of the light or illusions of his senses. They were tangible evidence of the unseen world, a world where atoms were not just theoretical concepts but real dynamic particles that governed the very essence of his reality. He understood now that these minuscule entities, too small to be perceived by the naked eye, were the building blocks of everything around him. They were the fundamental constituents of the universe, weaving together a tapestry of existence that was both intricate and awe-inspiring. With a heart brimming with gratitude and a mind alight with curiosity, Finn turned to the wise old woman and thanked her for opening his eyes to the wonders that lay hidden within the ordinary. He realized that his journey of discovery had just begun, and that there were countless more mysteries of the unseen world waiting to be uncovered. And so, armed with his insatiable thirst for knowledge and a newfound appreciation for the invisible forces that shaped his reality, Finn continued his exploration of the natural world, forever changed by the glimpse he had caught of the unseen. He knew that beneath the surface of everyday life, there existed a universe of tiny particles in constant motion, a universe that was as real as the sun that warmed his face or the breeze that ruffled his hair. From that day forward, Finn became known throughout the land as the boy who saw the unseen, a title he wore with pride as it symbolized his unique ability to perceive the hidden wonders that others had long ago forgotten existed. His story became a legend, passed down through generations, reminding each new listener that sometimes the most extraordinary things are the ones we can't see with our eyes.